Sarah Bumgardner with AAFMAA, the American Armed Forces Mutual Aid Association. For over 143 years, we have been serving our military community. And today's topic is talking about an organization that helps when a service member or veteran has passed away. Wear Blue, Run to Remember. I have Lisa Hallett today, the Executive Director of Wear Blue, Run to Remember, a Gold Star spouse, a military advocate, to talk to us. Thank you for joining me, Lisa.
Thanks, Sarah, for having me. I'm excited to be here in our conversation today.
Me too. So tell me, Lisa, about Wear Blue, Run to Remember for those who might not be familiar with this absolutely amazing organization.
Great, thanks. AAFMAA has been a great friend, so I'm glad to share what we do. So we are a global community that honors the service and sacrifice of the American military. And every Saturday in communities across the country, led by this really incredible group of volunteers, our service members, veterans, their families, our families of the fallen, and civilian supporters come together in these weekly runs or walks. And we always start with a circle of remembrance. And we bow our heads, we speak the names of the men and women who've given their lives on that day since September 11th. And then we take purposeful steps in their honor. And this became deeply personal to me in August of 2009 when my husband, John, was killed in Afghanistan. I had 3 young children and grief was really scary. And so running became this place where I could feel everything that I needed to feel and come home and be the parent that my children needed me to be. But I wasn't alone on this journey. We lost 41 service members throughout that deployment. And we were all looking for a way to remember, to grieve, to heal, and to support one another. And running became that place. And the first time we met was a Burger King parking lot. We looked at each other and then we went for a run. Yeah. And to be honest, we didn't know what we had in that first run, but we knew we had something. Wear Blues continued to grow because when those guys and gals came home from the deployment, we knew that they needed the same things that we did, and the space to heal, grieve, and reconnect with their families. And we now have Wear Blue, Run to Remember communities in Iwakuni, Japan, San Antonio, Texas, Fort Lewis, Washington, Lakeville, Minnesota, all over the country.
Wow. That's amazing. And it's what you're doing is so impactful. I mean, for you personally, for your family personally, but also for all of these other families that are experiencing this and being able to have this outlet. And Wear Blue, you have grown. You've grown quite significantly since the beginning in 2010. Tell me kind of where is Wear Blue now? Where are you today?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we have grown. Wear Blue was officially founded in March of 2010. And almost 13 years later, we have 6 programs that are really designed to support our service members, veterans and their family, empower families of the fallen, and of course, remember the men and women who've made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. And so out of this Saturday run where our first steps were taken, and it's really a run or a walk, it's the power of community and movement. But out of these Saturday weekly gatherings, we have a Gold Star Youth Mentorship Program where we pair children of fallen military with currently serving or recently separated members of our armed forces in this 10-week-long run mentorship program. We also train families of the fallen to run their very first marathons in honor of their loved ones. It's the power of learning to stand on your own, but not be alone. And we actually have a cohort of athletes, really incredible individuals who will be tackling the Cowtown Marathon and Half Marathon this February in Fort Worth, Texas. Wow. We also build these tribute Wear Blue miles. So in Fort Worth and Nashville, San Antonio at the Marine Corps Marathon, where these families will run through, we will line a 1-mile stretch of that race course with images of fallen service members, hundreds of them, personally requested by friends, family, fellow service members, community members. And those images, which have their rank, their name, their date of sacrifice, their age at the date of sacrifice, and then of course their image. But these posters will be placed in chronological order on the race course, and then they'll be followed by full-sized American flags held by the community in the communities that these men and women raise their right hand to protect and defend. And I think it's a really powerful gift that we give our fallen service members, as well as the men and women who served at their side and the families who carry the weight of that loss. Not all of us can go to Arlington National Cemetery to pay our respects, but when we build these tribute miles in the communities, it's a chance for us to honor and remember where they served, to help carry the weight and the joy of remembering these fallen service members with their friends, family, and fellow service members.
Yeah, I think it's incredible what you're doing. And you kind of talked a little bit and hit on something that's really important, that, when there is a fallen service member, a lot of times we think of that spouse, right? But then there's children as well that's in that. And you have this Gold Star Children program. And then there's parents, there's mothers and fathers, and there's siblings that are all experiencing this grief. And so this is a place where Blue has kind of said, you're all welcome, right? To come and to have those meaningful moments together, those Saturday runs, and to, walk or run with purpose in that. And so I think that's really unique in what Where Blue is doing to kind of be a support network for the whole family, correct? For everyone touched by this.
Yeah, that you really hit the nose on the head there. So We're Blue never discriminates by the cause of death. And we have families and service members who are remembering the fallen who passed away in combat, to service-connected illness, to suicide. We know that the weight of war is complicated, but we are also an inclusive community, in that we really are caring for all impacted by the loss of a service member. And that does mean our parents, our spouses, our siblings, our children, our fellow service members, our veterans, and the community who sent them to war. And when we say those words, never forget, this is what it looks like. It's the power of community coming together to speak a name and to carry the inspiration and motivation of these men and women in our steps, in our hearts, and in our lives.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have thousands of participants across the country now, because you have grown so much. Can you just share kind of how Where Blue has impacted, other members, in our community, and kind of what that looked like?
Yeah, I think that's, for me, the greatest joy of this community, is that every day I walk into this sea of individuals who are deeply inspiring and deeply understand and value service and sacrifice. And so I think often of this woman, Susan Craig, and she is a Marine Corps helicopter pilot. And she says it so beautifully. She says, running is healing. It's a way to complete the cycle of grief. And Susan is just this incredible woman. She was in a mid-air collision in February of 2006 and lost 10 of her service members. And so this Where Blue Run to Remember community has been a way for her to honor the fallen, work through her grief, but not in a silo. She uses it as a way to support and help others. And Susan leads our community in Lakeville, Minnesota. And Susan is just one of many incredible volunteers who've come to this organization to shepherd others in this shared space of remembrance and healing. And so over at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, Major Kimberly Koenig leads our Gold Star Youth Mentorship Program. So she volunteers her time, and every Saturday, starting this April 1st, she'll bring together a group of surviving children and active duty and veteran mentors into these lives so that they can be connected to a life of service, develop healthy coping mechanisms, and really learn to stand on their own, but not alone, right? Again, the support of that community. And over at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, Major Koenig is supporting individuals like the Bell family. And I think about Gage Bell, who's 11 years old, and he remembers his dad, First Sergeant Russell Bell. And it's been incredible because he has made a commitment, their family has made a commitment to living inspired by life rather than broken by tragedy.
Yeah, it's so important. And you say it so well that, that these people, they're not alone, right? They're not siloed, that there's this community and that you're not alone in this. If people are looking for, a way to get involved with Wear Blue, if they see this and it resonates and they say, I want to get involved, how are some ways that people can get involved with Wear Blue and what you're doing?
I love that you asked that. And I think nothing is more important and more needed than community right now. And so the first way to get involved is to join a Wear Blue community. There's never a cost to participate. And whether your community meets the first Saturday of the month or every Saturday, put on some sneakers and join your local community. You can visit our website, wearblueruntoremember.org, to learn more, to take purposeful steps and to find that community near you. But if there's not a Wear Blue community near you, grab a Wear Blue Run to Remember t-shirt from our shop, get out your front door and make your steps purposeful. I remember when my kids were little and they would see somebody wearing a Wear Blue shirt and they'd shout, they'd say, look, they're running for daddy. And, we know this community runs for so many, the over 7,000 service members who have given their lives since September 11th. The over 58,000 who gave their lives in the Vietnam War. But Wear Blue continues to that place. When you see somebody wearing that Wear Blue shirt, you know that they are committed to remembering and they're committing to supporting our service members, veterans, and their families. And then, of course, that tribute Wear Blue Mile will be at so many races this year. We'll be at the Rock and Roll Arizona this weekend.
Yeah.
We'll be in Fort Worth, Texas in February, Nashville in April. We'll be in San Francisco in July. We're continuing events across the country. Yeah. But it is powerful to bear the name of a fallen service member. So invite everyone to volunteer on one of our tribute Wear Blue miles. It'll be early, but I guarantee front row tickets to a major sporting event.
Awesome.
But we will provide the name and story of a fallen service member. And for the length of that mile, for the steps that run, you will have the opportunity to carry with a Gold Star family the remembrance of their loved ones, and to invite thousands and thousands of athletes participating in that race to live a life inspired by that hero.
Yeah, it's so well said. And we've dropped in the comment section here, we've dropped where you can get that Wear Blue apparel and where you can volunteer for those races. And we actually had a comment here. Dave here says, amazing, the power of simply getting out there in your Wear Blue shirt, truly becoming a living, moving memorial. And so, I mean, how you said it yourself, just wearing that shirt and somebody else in the community seeing that, like, 3 small children, to say, they're running for my dad, right? And we've taken this into now a positive outlet and a positive way to remember somebody and to remember that over 7,000 service members who have passed away since 9/11. So I thank you so much, Lisa, for what you did in standing up Wear Blue, Run to Remember. And I thank you for your continuation of this support for this community. And I hope everybody out there goes out and gets a shirt and finds a race. I know that I will be at the Nashville Rock and Roll. I will be there. So I'm very excited. But I thank you for joining today and for sharing what Wear Blue is doing.
Yeah, Sarah, thanks for being a part of our Living Memorial. And I am just so very lucky to be a recipient of this really vibrant, supportive community. Great things are on the horizon for 2023, and just thrilled to have AAFMAA as a part of that story.
Absolutely. We are so thrilled to be partners with you. Well, I'm Sarah Bumgardner, and that will wrap up our AAFMAA Live for today. If you would like more information about AAFMAA and our survivor assistance services and other resources, of course, you can join AAFMAA subscription. I hope everybody checks out the Wear Blue Run to Remember shirts. Get your shirts. Find a race. And if you know somebody, of course, that is in need of this support, send them for a Saturday run, So I'll wrap it up there. I thank you all for joining me today and have a wonderful day. Bye.